Greetings, everyone.
Greetings! Quartz? Crystal? Screw it, I'm going to call you Scarfy. Greetings, Scarfy! What are we doing today? You're sitting outside, so I'm going to assume it's some kind of gardening tutorial. I'm game. I need less bonkers in my life, because I'm on 3 weeks of Stoptober at this point, and it's getting hard, man. It's amazing how insane the world really is when you're not drunk. Like, did you know the pizza at that really seedy place that only opens from midnight till 5 AM is actually disgusting? And that vomiting constantly and pissing blood aren't normal bodily functions? Who knew? No one, that's who.
This video I'm going to be talking about blood over intent and...
Oh, this isn't a gardening video, is it? Ugh. And speaking of blood over intent is, well, it's a ritual that involves cutting yourself, bleeding onto some writing and uploading it onto YouTube, encouraging other people to do it. The reasons for doing so are, well, they range from really stupid to incredibly idiotic. So you've got the old lizard man conspiracies, general Illuminati crap, and obviously, if it's dumb, someone who does it is also a flat earther, because of course they are.
How it is a trap.
It's a trap!
And not beneficial to a source player.
Well, at least the lady is opposed to cutting yourself. Well, this type of cutting yourself. However, not for good reasons, like, it's bloody stupid, don't cut yourself. You could give yourself an infection, and of course, don't bloody cut yourself. No matter how many superpowers are promised you, I assure you that whatever good things happen to you after you do it will be entirely unrelated to the fact that you spreaded vascular jam all over your tax returns.
And not beneficial to a source player.
As you may well be wondering, what the hell is a source player? Well, you are in luck. I typed in those very words into Google, and who should be the only thing to turn up but her? So it's not like this is her own personal made-up BS or anything. Also, nothing to see here, folks. Nope. She am the legitimate businessman's. To be fair, this article just seems to be someone pissed off that she has a Patreon that, to be fair, has no reward tiers, mind. People are donating to her because they like her crap and enjoy the content she makes. So whatever. I just thought it was funny how these communities will often have so much infighting about whose complete nonsense is the best complete nonsense. God, I am tangenty today. Let's crack on with Scarfy. What is a source player?
So, how do you know if you're a source player? Well, it's really simple. If you are asking that question, then you are a source player because you have the ability to think for yourself.
Well, that's vague. Anyone who thinks for themselves, I reckon most people do to some extent, even if they aren't able to come up with anything resembling a coherent idea, or they agree to other people's stupid crap, they will still have attempted to do some thinking. But let me ask you this. What if someone was told to ask the question, what is a source player? Ha ha! They didn't come up with that by themselves, did they? Hashtag rectum.
So the blood over intent movement.
You can just hear the disdain. She says movement like she preceded it with the word bowel.
Let me explain to you the power of your blood as a source player.
Does it carry oxygen throughout the body via red blood cells, fight infections with white blood cells, help stop bleeding with platelets if you get cut, and carry nutrients, hormones, proteins throughout the body with plasma? And of course it also carries life-giving alcohol to your drunk glands in order to deal with the overabundance of cray-cray and the dum-dums. Because I feel that might be enough to make it some pretty rad stuff, in my personal opinion. Also, Cray Cray and the Dums, that's the name of my next band, I've decided.
Your blood is a representation of your soul cage. You see, your DNA is your soul cage.
Deoxyribonucleic acid is your soul cage. I mean, what? God forbid it be interesting enough that it holds the genetic information that dictates a bunch of characteristics about an individual. No, it has to be fecking magic, because of course it does. This is yet another one of my pet peeves, TM. Woo peddlers drive me nuts as they strive to make things in life more interesting, when if they actually learned about the reality, that shit is super goddamn interesting, with super double bonus XPs of being true and provable. But no, you can't just learn the facts about things. You've got to make up gobbledygook, like seminal fluid is actually teleported into the balls, where pee is stored, FYI, from the dark planet Globark, replacing the human sperm with alien. So the only way to breed your own offspring is to wrap your nuts in cling film whilst porking in a wind tunnel. You know, because wind blows the jizz lasers off course or something.
It is linked with your birth name and your...
A pause like that, and you know it's going to be good.
frequency, your script within this illusionary dream state.
See, I told you. She might think that blood over intent is bad, but not for any good reasons. Also, I'm sure she could come up with plenty of reasons to mutilate yourself, all of her own if she really wanted to. And this is exactly why the only good woo peddler is a thoroughly mocked woo peddler.
You are asleep. Your physical body is connected to this game.
Where? Why? Who's doing this? And to be specific, I'm talking about a simulation where your body is outside of the simulation itself, which is incredibly unlikely. I understand that there is a fairly popular sentiment that if perfect or near perfect simulations are possible, then we likely are being simulated. And I mean entirely, not separate you. You are an AI construct, and so is everyone else. Which, while interesting, is an idea I'm fairly incredulous to, since we don't really have any hard evidence at this point, merely speculation, and even if it were true, it would be relatively meaningless, as this is the only reality we've got and are ever likely to be able to interact with, and does not really change how we will get on with things. Not to get me started on how unlikely perfect simulation would be, billions of people and umpteen trillions of other creatures being simultaneously fed and outputting data constantly from the microscopic to the universe scale would require more computing power than I can fathom. But hey, that is my personal incredulity, and I'm not going to say it's impossible. But like I said, or more importantly, you said,
You are asleep. Your physical body is connected to this game.
that specific circumstance is very unlikely, and you have to show how you know this and what the point is. Otherwise, you're just talking out of your ass. And if you point at the Matrix as proof, I swear to God, I will scream like a 10-year-old girl.
It is an illusionary dream state of being. You follow your script until you have raised your frequency high enough and unlocked your script.
You follow your script to raise your frequency to unlock your script. I'm starting to feel like this scam person might be onto something, because this woman has hundreds of patrons, and I would be really pissed off if all I was getting for my money is this gibberish. But I guess I'm not the target demographic, because apparently, by seeing this for the nonsensical garbage that it is, I guess I'm not thinking for myself somehow.
Where you then can become the creator of your experience.
Are you telling me that you can manipulate reality? You people really do think that you live in the Matrix, don't you? Well, go on then. Jump a building, dodge some bullets, do something that will impress the pants off of everybody else. Unless, of course, you mean that you can feel as though you can do all that stuff without it actually happening in anyone else's reality, where, okay, I can do drugs too. I wish I could do my favourite drug, but I'm not a quitter. However, come the end of Stoptober, we are definitely having Can't Remember November. Look forward to the bar-raising quality of my videos when I can't even switch my computer on without falling out of a window.
There is power in the blood.
Wait, there's power in my blood? Hold on a minute, I've got a fantastic idea. charge, damn you! Well, that extremely scientific experiment proved without a shadow of a doubt that I cannot be trusted with condiments.
What the fuck are you doing?
Oh shit.
It is your soul cage. Your soul cage is made out of your DNA. Your blood is the representation of you.
So, two things. If I get a blood transfusion, does that mean I am now literally, mentally, emotionally, personality, part random dude or dudette that I got the blood from? And two, seeing as red blood cells last about 4 months and white for about a year, necessitating that fairly regularly you have completely different blood in your body, does that now mean that you are an entirely new person every couple of years or so? Or would you give me an extremely witty retort of, duh?
Without the blood, there is no life.
Then I imagine that artificial blood that's being tested in some parts of the world simply won't work. And the dream of creating enhanced super soldiers by draining a man's blood and replacing it with energy drink, giving him the strength of 2 very angry badgers, well, that's just going right out of the window and will probably land on my drunk head.
Without your source self, there is no life. You exist. Who you really are is your source self. Your soul is the cage that's trapping you in this game, confining you. It is your role and your script.
Well, good job they don't exist, otherwise I might be worried.
Your blood, your DNA is tied to that script. The cage that is holding your source self is DNA.
Right, so you are definitely starting to repeat yourself, and your video is 15 goddamn minutes long, so I'm gonna call it here. But I'll leave you with this thought. If blood is the source of your existence, and the coloration of your excrement is actually dead blood cells being removed from your body, does that mean we shit out part of our souls regularly? And if so, what exactly does that say about the value of our soul? Food for thought. Or poop for thought, I guess. Bye, Scarfy!